Now you want to make sure, if you've just joined us, that you have your action guide. Of course, the URL in the PowerPoint is not a live hyperlink, but I put it for you right at the top of the chat bar, right up there. And what's that noise? Just be real careful with your microphone so that we don't hear background noise and stuff, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a hyperlink at the top of the chat bar. And if you've just joined us, please put your name and where you're calling in from in the chat bar so we can have a greater dialogue with you. Okay, or not. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We have so much to cover, and I really go at quite a great speed because I want to share so much information with you. First, let me thank you, Lisa, for joining us today. It's always so much more fun for me to do a webinar with an affiliate, with a friend, someone else who's in the business, who has their own experience to share. And for those of you who are listening now, go Kim, Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland too. You knew that, right? Anyway, yeah, having a friend on the webinar with me is fantastic because they can chime in and share some of their experience too. And Lisa and I met, how did we meet? Through my dad? No, we didn't find out that he was you didn't know that he was my dad for a while.
Till after we met.
Yeah, how did we meet?
I was coming out to Las Vegas, and
okay.
I think Laura connected us, didn't she?
Possibly.
And then I was coming out to Vegas to speak, and she recommended that we get in touch, and we had a very long dinner together. And then I found out that I knew your dad for 20 years.
Oh my goodness. And so we've been friends ever since. And then Lisa was wonderful in my first film, The Keeper of the Keys, the award-winning inspirational personal development film. And but what I really want to point out, Lisa, is that watching your career over the last few years just blossom is incredible. And it is really it can be a very challenging field. And you struggled in the beginning a little bit, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
You figured it all out. Yeah.
Yep.
I did too. So let's get started. We're at 5 after, and we're going to go an hour or 45 minutes to an hour. I really want to make sure that we make this fast and tight, and we'll see. And we've got someone else who just joined us. So if you want to type in your name and where you're calling in from in the chat bar, that would be fantastic. Let's do a real quick poll. What is your financial goal for speaking? Financial independence, to supplement your income, or to become the leading expert in your field? And I'm going to set up a poll in the chat bar right here. And there you go. And all you have to do is click on one of those buttons. Speakers have different goals. A lot of speakers really only want to supplement their income. They just love speaking, but they do want to make money at it. They're not just happy to be a Toastmaster for free and speak, at neighborhood meetings. They really want to, see, I said Toastmasters and I said, in the same sentence. I was so aware of it, but I didn't stop it in time. Anyway, there's an for you Toastmasters out there. Anyway, people have different goals for speaking, and you really want to get clear on that. So click on one of those buttons in the chat bar. If you're looking to gain financial independence, in other words, be a full-time speaker making money as a speaker, if you just want to supplement your income, or you'll have to have an opinion on this. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, in the past, it's usually about 50-50, the speakers who want to have financial independence or just supplement their income. And establishing your credibility as an expert in your field is really just kind of a bonus for all of that. Okay, so let's go back to the chat bar, and feel free to please, if you've just joined us, type in your name and where you're calling in from. We have a lot of people in the room, so I like a lively chat bar. I want to start with Insider Secrets tip number 1, which is, and it's not going to match your action guide because I moved things around at the last minute, but Insider Secrets tip number 1 is that your dream can come true. You can, in fact, achieve financial freedom as a speaker. You just need to take the time to understand how the expert industry works to discover the keys to achieving all you want. Let's think about what financial freedom means to you. It really is, well, to everybody, it's having all the money you want and having the free time to enjoy it, because one without the other is really useless. If all you have is money and no time to enjoy it, well, then what's the point of having it? And if all you have is free time, then you're just unemployed and probably can't afford to go do what you want to do. So they really go together. In my first film with Lisa Ryan, Jack Canfield said, when your vocation feels like a vacation, you have arrived. And I think that's really where we all want to get to, is where our work, you know, they say if you do what you love, you never work another day in your life. And that is so true. Imagine earning $5,000, $10,000, or even $25,000 for a 1-hour presentation. Lisa's done it, right?
Yes, I have.
I have too. What would just a few gigs each month mean to you per year? I've booked speakers for more than $30,000 an hour. And you know, it's not even really an hour. It's like 45 minutes with a little Q&A at the end. And I'm here to tell you that you can do this. It is not brain surgery. You can become a speaker. You just have to understand how the industry works. Insider Secrets is made for you if you have an important message to share, which that is something that I have found with all speakers, is that every speaker became a speaker, not just because they enjoyed speaking, but because they wanted to share a very important message. You want to distinguish yourself from the crowded field of general speakers, and I'll get into what that field represents in just a few minutes. You want to become the leading expert in your field. You want to earn thousands every time you speak and have high recurring income. You want to influence and help others and fulfill your potential. And you want to discover how the speaking industry really works. And you're ready to start getting paid to speak. Are you excited? Put yes in the chat bar if you are. Now, this isn't for you if you don't want to leverage your passion, your experience, or your message to earn an incredible income and lifestyle, or you're simply happy speaking for free. It's a fun hobby for you. I was invited as a guest at a local Toastmasters a few years ago, and one of the gentlemen there was a member of Toastmasters for 26 years. He'd never had a paid speaking gig. He just really enjoyed speaking. So this is not for someone like that. This is for people who want to monetize their speaking message. And thanks for weighing in the chat bar, Kim. I really appreciate that. Speaking is one of the highest paid professions today. There I am at an MPI meeting, Meeting Professionals International up in Canada, speaking to a room full of meeting planners who book speakers. And I always promote the Bureau. Whenever I'm speaking, I have a unique perspective, starting as a speaker and an author. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. So if you look at your action guide on the first page, and you've already been paid to speak, answer these questions. And you don't have to put anything in the chat bar here. This is just for yourself. What is the top fee you earned last year? What do you want your top fee to be this year? Again, it really helps to get that clarity where you were, where you're going, where you want to be. What was your average fee last year? And to get your true average fee, you have to include those non-paid gigs. We all get asked to speak for free. We have friends who are committee members, and they're always like, oh, we need you to speak at this luncheon. So you usually do that. A lot of $20,000 speakers speak for free at their children's schools too. What do you want your average fee to be this year in 2018? How much did you earn last year total? And how much do you want to earn this year? And then look at the gap. And are you ready to close it? And what's it worth to you to close it? Is it worth 20%, $20,000? I would give you $20,000 to make $100,000 all day long. So this is really to help you with your perspective. The truth is that often, in spite of standing ovations and accolades, most speakers don't earn enough money to put gas in their car to get home. They never discover how to monetize their speaking careers. Let's find out why. I think I know why. This is great. You'd never try to fly an airplane without first taking flying lessons, would you? Would you, Lisa? Would you get in a cockpit of a jumbo jet?
No.
No, there's no takeoff button or landing button. In spite of autopilot, you wouldn't do that. You would risk your life. And yet, every day, speakers and authors, writers become authors and speakers, or try to become authors and speakers without really taking lessons, without really understanding how the industry works. It's very different. And I think it's innocent enough. It's because we're speaking and writing from the time we're toddlers. We don't realize that there's a big difference between doing it professionally and doing it for free. I am a big fan of not wasting anybody's time, not your time, not my time. This is a no BS webinar. If you don't know what BS stands for, message me in the chat bar and I'll go into detail. But this is a no BS webinar. I'm going to share incredible secrets and insights that took about the speaking industry that took me nearly 10 years and more than $100,000 to learn. Seriously, I refinanced my home to keep the dream going before I discovered how the industry really works. In just 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how the speaking industry really works. And we're going to share at least 10 insider secrets tips because I got a unique perspective once I started running the bureau, including the biggest mistakes most speakers make, the importance of a powerful platform, how to do what the wealthy do so you can become a wealthy speaker, the 3 different types of speakers. Did you know there were 3 different types? And what every speaker should know about the speaking industry before struggling one more day. I'm going to share insider secrets turning 6 figures and how you can make more money in one day than you ever thought possible. Doesn't that sound exciting? I love sharing this. And I'm telling you what, if I can do it, so can you. You can benefit from my experience. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Let me make the mistakes for you. I think I've already made all of them. I know that sounds naive to say because there's always more to make, but anyway, it's been a struggle for me the first few years, and it wasn't until I launched the bureau and I saw things from the other side, from a meeting planner's perspective or a bureau perspective, that I really started to understand how the industry works. So I'm going to share some of that with you. And stay tuned. I have an incredible offer for speakers, writers, and experts that could change your life. Now, you know, most of these free webinars are a pitch for a product. Yes, I created Insider Secrets, Keys to 6-Figure Speaking. But even if you can't take the course, this free webinar, stay with us till the end. We'll go live. I have some tips from Napoleon Hill at the very end, but I do have a very special offer for you. And here we go. Insider Secrets. Tip number 2 is establish your credibility. Did you ever go to a luncheon and there's a speaker and they're sitting all alone until after they're done speaking, and then there's a line of people who want to pick their brain or say hi? They're so impressed with them. Well, you need to establish your credibility whenever you're speaking first and foremost. Why should people listen to you? Why should they buy your books? Why should they hire you as a coach, a speaker, or a consultant? So in keeping with that, let me share with you why I can help you. In 2006, more than 10 years ago, I founded the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau in the convention capital of North America. We now have more than 11 million square feet of convention space. This is crazy. And many of these conferences and conventions hire speakers, and not just one speaker. They hire a keynote speaker, breakout speakers. One conference might have 20 speakers on their program. So I thought, hey, I'm in Las Vegas. If I'm not right for your gig, let me find you someone who is. Today, I regularly work with those speakers and experts that I used to only see on television or read their books. People like Jack Canfield and Brian Tracy, Lisa Ryan, Jim Lovell, the astronaut, Les Brown. It's just been an amazing journey. I mentioned I started off as an author. I was in advertising, and I personally hosted more than 3,000 client lunches. So my first book was The Art of the Business Lunch, Building Relationships Between 12 and 2. I contributed to Chicken Soup for the Wine Lover's Soul, which was a great companion book for my business lunch book. I've contributed to other anthologies, and I edited and published 3 anthologies, The Power of the Platform. And I've been interviewed on these wonderful media outlets all around the world. So I started as an author. Then I realized if I spoke, I could make more money than just selling books in the back of the room. I could get paid to speak and sell my books in the back of the room. And most recently, I've made movies. You see The Keeper of the Keys, which Lisa is in, right? These stars trust me with their reputations, which means you can too. And the other experts in the movie gain success by association. Lisa, didn't you do something with Brian Tracy? Or, oh no, who was it that, Harvey McKay?
Harvey McKay recommended my book on his website, but I've also had the opportunity to work with Dr. John DeMartini, with Mary Morrissey, with several people that were also in The Secret.
Okay. And this is marketing gold because it's success by association. People see you in a picture with Jack Canfield and they think you're having breakfast with him every day. It's wonderful. And he knows your name. And I've had like Max Bolka, who was in the movie with you, emailed Jack that he was coming out to California and was going to hear Jack was going to be the keynote speaker at a conference Max was attending. And he's like, oh yeah, come by and say hi. You get to establish that relationship, and there's nothing like it in the whole world. So this is what I've done. I've made movies, I've published books, I've written books, and I speak. So it gives me, and I own the Speakers Bureau. So it gives me a really unique perspective, and it puts me in a better position to help other speakers who want to succeed. So moving forward, Insider Secrets tip number 3, you want to avoid these professional speaker mistakes and misconceptions. And I can tell you that most speakers make every mistake in the book. I did. I'm very humble about how badly I misunderstood this industry when I got started. The top 3 mistakes: most speakers don't understand how the speaking industry works, and they rely on fee-based gigs. I'll get into that in a second. They create and try to sell the wrong products with the wrong reasons in mind. They don't understand how really easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak. In fact, Lisa, let me ask you this real quick. When you changed gears and you went from struggling to becoming a paid speaker, looking back, do you go, oh my God, that was so easy. How did I not know that when I started?
I think it came down to the belief of knowing that I was worth what I was being asked, what I was asking for to get to speak. And it does take a little bit to get that confidence. And then once you get that mindset, yeah, it becomes a lot easier.
And you look back at how many years you struggled, you're like, what was I thinking? You know, it's so much easier if you have someone, you know, I have a slide in some of my PowerPoints, not in this one, and it's footprints on the beach. And I ask people, if all I asked you to do was put your foot where my foot had been and follow me, how easy is that, instead of forging your own way and making all those mistakes? There's no reason to do it. And this is really the only speaker training you'll ever need. I hear from speakers all the time that they have paid $2,495 for a course, that they paid $10,000 for one-on-one coaching, that they have paid so much money to so many, air quotes, experts, and they're still not making money. So I'm excited to share all this information with you because it really is the only speaker training that you'll ever need. Success as a speaker is not just about being a great presenter. It's about understanding how the business works. And of course, being a great presenter always helps too. I've uncovered some very serious problems. As president of the Speakers Bureau, I hear from all the speakers. I know what's going on. I know what their challenges are. Most speaker training programs fail to address how the speaking industry actually works. You just think if you try harder, or, you know, you make more sales calls, you'll get out there more. Some of that's true, but it's really, there is a way to succeed and a way to waste your time and energy. You can have a dynamite program and everybody comes up and says, you're the best speaker we ever heard, and you could still struggle to make ends meet. Plus, speaking is a very crowded field. Industry experts are often willing to speak for free, which is a new trend. Meeting planners will comp you into a conference, especially like doctors at a medical conference. They don't want to pay for speakers. They'll give you, if the registration is $1,200, they'll comp you in if you'll give a speech. So where does that leave people who are only paid speakers? I don't want to go to a medical conference. I want to get paid to speak. So that's a big challenge. Plus, there are countless experts speaking on the very same topic. So the question becomes, how can you and your message stand out to achieve your financial goals? I use a lot of my own examples to help you see what I'm talking about. And here's an example. I speak on the advantage of breaking bread to build better business relationships, but I also speak on networking. If I'm in a pool of speakers vying for a paid networking speaking gig, I'm against 2,000 or 3,000 other people, at least 100 of whom are going to apply for the same gig. If you want someone who is only going to help you with, Lisa, you can mute your microphone if you want. I hear a lot of background noise there. If you have if I'm speaking just on breaking bread to build better business relationships and make more money with my clients, I'm the only one. I am the queen of the business lunch, and that's it. So part of how you and your message can stand out to achieve your financial goals is finding that way to make yourself the expert in your field. Most speaker training isn't about how to monetize your speaking career. In fact, at a typical speaker training event, they might have 10 or 20 speakers talking about, how to create your own products, how to position yourself, marketing secrets, social media, how to have a greater presence on stage, even what color to wear on stage, and then how to get booked by particular groups like colleges or women's groups. And I have some speakers who have paid a lot of money for that kind of training, and they're still not speaking at colleges making six figures. So it's very frustrating. And then you have a host who will help you to see the possibilities, all for about $10,000. And I hear from speakers all the time that they've done this. I've heard it all before, and I can tell you this type of training just doesn't work. Let's look more closely now at the top three mistakes. Remember, number one was not understanding how the speaking industry works. Most speakers rely on fee-based speaking engagements. Now, what is that? It's a meeting planner or a speakers bureau calling you saying, hey, Lisa, listen, I've got an opportunity for you to speak. It's in Las Vegas. The budget is $1,500. Now, I know you're getting $10,000 to speak, but that's what my client has. And you'd have to fly out the day before, and you could fly home the next night. So you're talking about 2 days you can't take another gig for $1,500. And they'll put you up in the hotel. Now, you're letting someone else determine how much money you're going to make for your time. I will do that. I got a call. Someone's speaker dropped out. It was very last minute. It was $2,500. I'm a $10,000 speaker, a $15,000 speaker. It was at Planet Hollywood. I could get in my car, use a program I already had. All I needed to do was just update it and customize it a little bit. Drive over to Planet Hollywood, 3 hours out of my life for $2,500. So I took it. Would I do it for $500? No. In fact, I just turned down someone wanted a facilitator and MC for an 8-hour gig for $500. I don't have that kind of time to spare for $500. So local is different when there's travel involved. But Lisa, would you get on a plane and fly all the way to Las Vegas for a $1,500 gig at this point in your career?
No, I would not.
Okay. I don't think.
No, I would not. But
there was a time when you would have, right?
Yeah. And I do have relatives in Vegas, and I have you as my friend out there. So if it makes sense that I want to go to Vegas, I might. Just depends.
But that's your call too. But you're also, now it becomes a paid vacation.
Exactly.
That's a fee-based gig. So that's a horse of a different color, right? Okay.
Correct.
Now you must build your platform. And I want to talk to you about this, Lisa, too. I really want you to weigh in on this. Does anyone in the chat bar in the room, we have so many people and nobody has signed in or put their name or where they're calling in from, but I see that you're there. So I would love it if you'd put your name and where you're calling in from. What is a platform and why do you need one? Platform. Remember how I showed you all those top media outlets like MSNBC and Newsweek? That's part of my platform, that I've been interviewed by those people, and I'm a best-selling author and I am an award-winning filmmaker and so on. That is what your platform is. It's your accomplishments. It's your designations, your distinctions, your achievements. What have you done? Why are you different from everyone else? And what your platform means to your career as a speaker is amazing. Now, Lisa, the reason I wanted to ask you about this is when I was on your website last week, I commented, you had told me that you were speaking to a new market. What is that?
I speak to manufacturing trade associations, so both manufacturing and construction. So primarily I focus on the trades.
Right. And I saw on your website a new book. And what's that?
My book is called Manufacturing Engagement. It's 98 proven strategies to attract and retain your industry's top talent.
Okay. So now imagine I'm running the Speakers Bureau. I have a manufacturing client who needs a speaker. Who am I going to go to? And the fact that Lisa has a book on her new area of specialized knowledge, who are they going to book? they're going to book Lisa because she has a book on employee engagement in the field of manufacturing. It's a no-brainer for them. Why would they hire someone who has a book on networking or a book on sales when that's not their industry? I saw that and I was like, I love that you get it. You have that specialized knowledge. You're catering to a certain industry. You put together a book for that industry. You're building your own platform. It's not just about Newsweek calling you and saying they want to do an interview. It's about making yourself the most qualified candidate to get a paid gig. So kudos to you for that. I really love that. Again, why is everybody so quiet in the chat bar? Maybe everyone's driving around and they're just listening to us and they can't enter their name and where they're calling in from. But we have a lot of people in the room, which is great. Okay, so I'm going to do a poll. Maybe that'll get everyone going. Have you ever Googled yourself? So give me 2 seconds to set this up. Here we go. Oopsie. There we go. Have you ever Googled yourself? And the responses are yes, and the results were impressive. Yes, but my name and profile didn't come up, or no, not yet. So you don't, we can't tell who's weighing in where. So be honest if you want to, and just click on one of those buttons in the chat bar. You want to set yourself on fire so that bureaus and meeting planners can find you. When I have a client who is looking for a speaker, the first place I look is the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau website. I want to see if I have a speaker who is the best suited for that gig. If I can't, okay, we have no, not yet. All right, well, that's something you can do as soon as we're done. Then I go to Google and I will search sales speaker, networking speaker, overcoming adversity speaker, motivational speaker, merchandising speaker, manufacturing speaker. And you need to come up on Google page 1. So if you search, these are some of my keywords: Las Vegas, business, relationship expert, sales, speaker. Look at that. I'm all over page 1. And the first listing is Gigmasters, and they still send me stuff. I was a member of them for a year. I didn't think it was worth it, but they still send me leads. So anyway, and then Expert Click, the second listing, is the service I use to send out press releases. And then Speaker Match and robinj.com and robinj.com and robinj.com. And so you see, and it was all that way down Google page 1. It just got so small if I made it smaller so you could see the whole page. Then I set the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau on fire. So if you search Las Vegas Convention Speakers, there I am, the first organic listing and the second organic listing. The Zappos ad above that is really for Tony Hsieh. That he's a $100,000 speaker, so that doesn't affect me at all. So isn't that amazing? So when we get done, put that down on your to-do list, is Google yourself and see what that's like, okay? See how that goes. See if you come up, and use some keywords too, like I did. Here's a little tip, Insider Secrets, tip number 4, and you want to write this down. You never want to be a specialist. You always want to be an expert. Can anybody guess why? Because the word specialist has the word Cialis in it. So if you're outside the country listening to this, you may not know, but Cialis is an erectile dysfunction drug. And they advertise a lot and they spam a ton. And so if you have specialist in your job title, your newsletters, your press releases, your emails, they may all bounce because it has the word Cialis in it. And if you get spam, you notice there are asterisks and other letters in front, or it's misspelled and so on. But you might bounce. So you never want to be a specialist. I don't know who else shares that kind of tip with you, but I love sharing that. Okay, the second biggest mistakes most speakers make is they create and try to sell the wrong products for the wrong reasons. Another reason why I pointed out your book, Lisa, on manufacturing, because, oh my gosh, that was the best thing you could have done to appeal to that industry. Absolutely. You created a product for the industry that you want to attract. And that's exactly how I want everybody to start thinking now. How can you create the right products for the right reasons? And the way you do that is you start with the end in mind. Building products to sell to have a successful speaking career is not important It's mandatory. The good news is these can cost next to nothing to create. And I love to share how to build explosive products with speakers. Like I said, I have 20 years in advertising. I know how to create these things. It's really fantastic. And it's easier than you can imagine. You have to have a reason for creating your product. You need to create it because there's a demand for it, and then share the reason why you created it. Again, Lisa, why I had you share why you wrote a book on manufacturing, because if I'm looking at you for like from an HR standpoint and I'm not representing a manufacturing client, I might look at that book and just shrug and go, I don't get it. But if I'm a manufacturing client or I'm a bureau looking for one of my clients who's in manufacturing, my goodness, that just does it, right? So you want to share the reason why you created it. I created this webinar because there was such demand from speakers who want to be listed on my Speakers Bureau site. Here are some real examples from my inbox. I used to go through these one at a time, but it's endless. It really is. A lot of doctors love to speak and share their knowledge. I have a lot of people who want to sign them up, become an official speaker, send us an application, and so on. I don't have that. I cherry pick. This is an elite speakers bureau. I cherry pick the speakers that I want to work with who will represent the bureau in the best light. There are no applications. Speaker has a broad range of subjects to choose from. That tells me they're not an expert in any one subject. Now, you can speak on a lot of different topics, and that can be on your website. But to really succeed, you have to specialize in a specific topic. Like I'm the queen of the business lunch, Lisa's manufacturing, and so on. Even though we can both speak on probably, what do you speak on, Lisa? 5 topics? Don't you even do the DISC system or?
Yeah. Yep. DISC, millennials and generations, leadership, gratitude. Gratitude is my other big one.
Right. So you have a lot of subjects, but to really capitalize on this, you need to specialize on one particular subject. And I love to help speakers determine how to make their topic a hot topic. And then this one, speaker is looking for more opportunities. I've had speakers tell me, oh, if you could just get me 3 or 4 paid gigs a month, that would be great.
Hey, I'll sign me up.
Yeah, sign me up too. You know, it just doesn't work that way. So they're all looking for more opportunities, on and on and on. And as I created my anthology series and my movies, the more speakers I talked to, the more I realized how many speakers are struggling. And there's just no reason to struggle like that. So I decided to help speakers monetize their message. I was going to do an online course. And because I do the Key movies, I was all set to do the Keys Academy. I have the URL. I still want to do it and have experts and stars from my movies each do a 45-minute or 1-hour program. I think it'd be a great 12-week online course. But one day I heard from 3 speakers in one day. And I just said to myself, I have just got to do this. I have just got to go ahead and create a program to show speakers how the industry really works and pull back the curtain on it. All right, insider secrets, tip number 5, creating awesome products. Just make it something people need, something people want, and something you know a lot about. A book is a great place to start, and you want to create products that offer tremendous value. Here I am with some very super successful speakers. Lisa was on this red carpet with me. How are they earning more than most speakers are who are working today? These, if you don't recognize Jack Canfield and yours truly, and Marcy Shimoff and John Gray, well, here's a tip. You can learn from the rich and successful by doing what they do. Where you are today financially is a result of what you were doing 5 to 10 years ago. If you're going to become a wealthy speaker, you have to do what the wealthy do. You have to invest in yourself. It doesn't have to be your money. You know what OPM and OBM is, Lisa? You could answer that, right?
Yep. Other people's money and other banks' money.
You got it. This is your best use of credit, investing in yourself, and it's what the wealthy do. The poor use the power of debt or their credit cards for instant gratification. They buy items on credit that cost them money. These items decrease in value, things like big screen TVs, cars. You've heard the minute you drive it off the lot, it's not worth what you paid for it. Technology. How many of you have bought like an Apple Watch or an iPad and gotten home and the very next day it's they announced the 2nd generation or 4th generation? Jewelry, unless you're buying investment pieces like a 4 carat diamond, you're not going to get your money out of it. Vacations are the worst. Pay cash for your vacations. Don't put them on a credit card. They're going to devalue and depreciate. The wealthy and successful use the power of debt to make money. They invest in things that will increase in value, things like education, real estate, and the stock market. And that's what you want to do with your assets as you become a paid speaker. So let me ask you this. Are you where you think you should be at this point? And if not, are you ready to start earning what you think you're worth and not what someone else has determined so that you can start living your dream? Now, if you're just starting out and you've never been paid to speak before, then of course you're where you think you should be at this point. But if you've been at it for a while and you're still not earning what you think you're worth, then let's jump forward and change your game. Insider Secrets tip number 7. Did you know that there are 3 types of speakers? This is such a game changer. General, public, and paid. Which one do you want to be? And I think the biggest misconception is public speakers, because we're speaking in the public, but we're really not public speakers. I'll get into each of these and tell you what the difference is. General speakers. The list of general speakers includes the more than 18,000 speakers listed with the Washington Speakers Bureau, leading authorities, Kepler's, all the big bureaus in the United States and around the world. They're talented, they teach, they entertain, and they motivate. It includes everyone in every Toastmasters in the world. And that's called Toastmasters International because they're all over the world. And tens of thousands of people are in Toastmasters. That's your competition. Industry experts, like I said, doctors and engineers and people who are willing to speak for free. They don't care. They have a job. They don't care if they ever get paid to speak. And general speakers will usually speak for whatever they can get, whenever they can get it. Hey, Robin, will you come to our luncheon and speak for free or for $300? Sure. If I'm a general speaker, that's how I would respond. They'll often speak for free and to any size audience. Hey, we got 6 people in our conference room. Will you come in and teach us about sales? I've heard that before. And I'll tell you what, when I was starting out, I had to do it because I was starting out and I was learning the whole time. So I was exchanging my experience for my time for that kind of experience. General speakers hope to sell products in the back of the room, but they usually don't. They hope to land a big $10,000 to $20,000 keynote gig, but they usually don't. Now, occasionally, a general speaker gets hot. They have the right message at the right time, like a TV show or a viral video, at which point they get to raise their fee and they get booked a lot. And then, as an example, I have Larry Winget, the pit bull of personal development, who got a TV show on A&E, and he's also on the major news channels as a consultant for financial advice. And then the first viral video ever, before we knew that it was called a viral video, was Judson Lapely, who did The Evolution of Dance, which if you haven't seen that, write that down and watch that when we're done. There's a couple versions of it now. The catch-22 is a bureau will want to book you once you no longer need them to. And it's funny, I talked to Judson right before he'd gone on the Today Show and became an even bigger sensation. He had told me his fee was $3,000. I told him he needed to charge at least $5,000. 2 weeks after he was on the Today Show, he was on one of the other bureaus for $11,000. He raised his fee. And the next year I called him to try and book him for one of my clients for $10,000. And he did not have a day and a half available to come to Vegas and speak from August, because he did college tours. That's orientation, through Christmas break. Couldn't get him. Not for one day. I had a client who had a very flexible schedule. They wanted him, couldn't get him. So, like I said, a bureau will want to book you once you no longer even need them to. All right, the next category, public speakers. And this is really misunderstood. Public speakers are famous, well-known speakers. And again, I think we make the mistake because we're speaking in public, so we think we're public speakers. The public speaker is famous and well-known. They always keynote. They earn between $15,000 and $100,000 or more for a keynote presentation. And their average audience size is 500 to 20,000. They use the platform to educate, entertain, and motivate the audience. They're not there to sell anything. They're there to entertain mostly and inspire. People like politicos, former mayor of New York City, Rudy Giuliani, former Olympians who are no longer competitive athletes, Mark Spitz, like that. Leading ladies and leading men. Goldie Hawn is a motivational speaker now because there just aren't a lot of leading lady parts for someone in their 60s. I think she's in her 60s. There's my friend J.B. Bernstein, who lives in Las Vegas. John Hamm played him in the movie $1 Million Arm. J.B. went from being an industry expert as a sports agent to becoming this amazing motivational speaker. John Hamm played him in the movie. Disney distributed that movie all over the world, so he's very recognized now. Michio Kaku, the physicist who's on TV all the time. And my friend Jack Canfield is a public speaker. Even if people don't know the name of Jack Canfield, they know Chicken Soup for the Soul. So they understand that. And now we get to the best category, the paid speakers. They're happy to speak for free, believe it or not, because they know they're going to make their own payday. They might even pay you just to get in front of your audience. And they don't rely on fee-based gigs. Instead, they take charge of their own paydays, and they base their presentation on science and psychology. I'll talk about that in just a second. Here's some examples of some paid speakers. Tony Robbins is doing okay. He makes about $9 million a year and has a net worth of $500 million as a speaker. So that should inspire you. Second up is Deepak Chopra, who has a net worth that is dwarfed by Tony Robbins' net worth, $80 million. And then you have speakers like Jack Canfield, Marsha Weeder, I'm going to get it wrong, Marsha Weeder. I keep thinking of Marcy Shimoff. Marsha Weeder is America's Dream Coach. She makes 7 figures. Michael Beckwith, Reverend Michael Beckwith from Agape. There's Marcy Shimoff. John Assaraf, John Gray, Don Miguel Ruiz, Brian Tracy. These people are all paid speakers. So you want to know how are they doing it and do what they do. And that's what I help you with. Most speakers are general speakers trying to fit the role of public speaker. And that's why they're not making any money. They keep wanting to get discovered and catch on and somehow become famous. They never become paid speakers because they don't even know that category exists. Now that you know that there's a paid speaker category, I can show you how to become a paid speaker. Insider Secrets tip number 9, the talent factor. Like I said, you can be an amazing speaker and still struggle because earning $10,000 per speech is not based on talent. It's based on a presentation that's built on science and psychology. What does that mean? It means speaking to your audience's beliefs, paradigms, and subconscious minds. If you've ever heard a speaker and you flew to the back of the room to buy one of their products, it's probably because they were using this technique of science and psychology, and they were speaking what they were saying, their message so deeply resonated with you. Have you ever done that, Lisa? Gone to hear a speaker and you ran products?
Oh, absolutely.
We all have. And when we're done, we're like, sometimes we ask ourselves, why did I buy that? Or we get home and we love it. We're really glad because we're on the same frequency as they are. That's what I'm talking about here. It's really a powerful technique for speaking from the stage. So once I discovered how the speaking industry works, I took my new knowledge for a test drive. Remember I said we get asked to speak for free all the time. Well, my friend was in charge of programs at NAWBO, the National Association of Women Business Owners. And I spoke for free for 20 minutes in front of about 50 ladies. And I earned more than $6,000. And at that time, my fee was only $5,000. So here I was speaking for free and I made more than my regular fee. Isn't that crazy? That's, this is what's possible once you understand how the industry works. So I have to ask, why are most speakers struggling? They don't understand how easy it is to stop speaking for free and start getting paid to speak. Why do you think that is? Well, I have an idea, and it's Insider Secrets tip number 10. I found that the National Speakers Association reports that 95% of their members earn less than $50,000 annually from speaking. Now, keep in mind too, this is an average. They have a lot of speakers who are industry experts who don't speak full time, but it's still fewer than 5% of their members earn more than $50,000 annually. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that's a great living, not in this economy. So to qualify for their very prestigious Certified Speaking Professional designation, a speaker has to show that they have earned more than $50,000 a year for at least 5 of the last 10 years. And yes, that can include product sales. What else does it include, Lisa? Because I know you're on your way to getting a CSP.
Yeah, so product sales, live webinars, they've actually expanded it to meet with technology today. Instead of it having to be all live audiences, you can actually do things like live webinars now.
Okay, that's fantastic, but it's still really hard to do. And you have to be speaking, you have to be a professional paid speaker for at least 5 years, if not 10, to get there. So you don't have a lot of people who are in their 20s or 30s who have their CSP. The problem is that it leaves out those industry experts and other really great speakers who are not earning exclusively from speaking, which also includes most general speakers. It's a prestigious designation, but it's very elite and it's out of reach for 95% of the speakers that are working today. So Insider Secrets tip number 11, this is really encouraging. After that little discouraging bit of news, it doesn't take a lot of people to earn a lot of money. Getting started, you simply have to decide that you want to become a paid speaker. You stop relying on fee-based gigs and discover more ways to earn what you're worth. Build your platform with proper credibility through products, marketing, promotion, videos, publicity, and great search engine optimization. Discover how to use science and psychology to start earning more right away. So have you learned more than you thought you would so far today? There I am looking very surprised about the industry. I hope you found it helpful. We're well under an hour, which is great. And stay tuned because like I said, I've got a real good nugget from Napoleon Hill coming up. And we're going to go live to answer any questions you might have. I think it's been an incredible hour. If you'd like to know what else you can do to further your career and start getting paid to speak, type yes in the chat bar. We have an 8-second delay. Lisa, what do you think is the most significant nugget that we've covered so far? Is there one, or is it just all comprehensive and helpful?
I think that putting the realistic expectations on new speakers, that there is a lot of work involved, that this is not something that happens overnight, and that you do really need to invest in yourself and invest in the expertise of other people who have been there, done that, because I know the investments that I've made in my speaking career have saved me years and years of where I am now versus where I could be if I tried to do everything on my own.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So let me share with you what I have to offer today, because this is just unprecedented. The Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau presents Insider Secrets, Keys to Six-Figure Speaking. This is an 8-week crash course that will change your speaking career forever and show you how to monetize your speaking career. Here's what you'll get in the online course. Module 1, don't speak again until you see this. It's the top mistakes most speakers make and how to avoid them, how to remedy them. Module 2 is the science and psychology. Remember, I talked about how the paid speakers understand and they present using science and psychology. You'll discover the nuggets that will help you to earn more by speaking directly to your audience's subconscious minds. It's a takeaway you will be able to implement. You'll understand it and know exactly how to do it by the second module. It's crazy. The third module is simply irresistible. Do this if you want to succeed. You'll discover what it takes to create irresistible offers, how and when to present so that you can close bigger sales more often, more easily, and how to find the decision makers who will book you for paid gigs. Believe it or not, they're all listed in one place. And then presentation skills and thrills, where you'll discover what you need to know to market yourself create explosive products, reach a global audience with your message, and so much more. Don't be overwhelmed by all those little images, but what's a great headshot? What do you need in your bio? How do you create the products? Do you need video? What about a movie? How about a responsive website? What kind of testimonials should you get? Is a podcast a good idea? How do you get free publicity? Blog posts, all of that. We cover all of that in modules 3 and 4. In module 5, you'll meet super successful literary agent, author, and micro-publisher Deb Herman. That's me with her husband and her, Jeff Herman. If you want to see how big they are, go to the jeffhermanagency.com. I think it's jeffhermanagency.com. They have sold more than 1,000 traditional nonfiction titles. Jeff is the ultimate literary agent, and Deb does micro-publishing. She's published 11 books of her own, and her most recent one is still up there, #1 on Amazon. She co-wrote a book with someone, and it's organically #1 on Amazon. We talked about the ever-changing publishing landscape. There's so many options now between vanity press, author services, self-publishing, selling your work, and we really break it down for you. And then Insider Secrets to Speaker Marketing, where I interviewed Gretchen Bruner, who is a speaker marketer. And we just fast forward ahead to save you years of struggle, how to find those fee-based gigs in your own backyard and online. Priceless value. And here's Bryce Kuhlman, who owns Wisdom Robot, sharing insider secrets on how to automate your income. He said it's like cloning yourself. Once you have products that are on your website and available for sale, whether you're presenting in front of a live audience or not, they're there, they're parked all the time. It's amazing. He has your key to product creation and income automation, where you'll discover how to earn high perpetual income online with these evergreen campaigns, making money for you while you sleep. In fact, and this is so priceless, there was a guy who posted on Facebook recently that he had a sale. He woke up in the morning and found out that he had a $1,250 sale, believe it or not, for drumming lessons. You would just think that that's tactile and you would need to have a drummer instructor right there with you. But no, it translates to online. And he said, I woke up and saw that I had made $1,250 while I was sleeping. So it's possible, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you get a live one-on-one with me, where I will personally help you develop your topic into a killer branded keynote. I'll review your products, your manuscript, your website, your presentation, whatever you're working on, whatever you need to get to the next step. This is a great opportunity to get my personalized one-on-one coaching. It's normally $500 an hour, and I will help you with any aspect of it. In fact, I was on the phone with one of my graduates from Insider Secrets for 2.5 hours yesterday, helping him. He's got it. He's got great products for sale on his website. He did a new website. We went over everything, and it was, I'm there for you. I really am. Until I get too busy, I figured, let me go ahead and offer that while I can. This will change your life. You'll discover how to put yourself together for the greatest impact online and on stage. And there are 4 insane bonuses. Are you ready for this? You're not even going to believe it. You'll get a 2-year listing, minimum 2-year listing on lvcsb.com, the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau, in the convention capital of North America. Remember, I said I look for speakers on my website first before I go to Google. So you'll be on my website and on my radar. I put this value at $1,500 because when I started speaking, Lisa, I don't know if you did this or not, but when I started speaking, a lot of bureaus wouldn't book you unless you were already with a bureau. Did you find that when you first started?
Yep, they're calling me now, but it took them a long time to do so.
Yeah, well, I paid to be listed on a bureau that represents women speakers for a couple of years, and I think it was like $575 a year, and I paid for a couple of years. So yeah, this is absolutely a tremendous value. Plus, you saw I have great website search engine optimization. My website comes up when they're looking for convention speakers. There I am. So this gives you a wonderful tie-in, and you can link to the bureau, and the bureau, will represent you too. There's a screenshot of the new bureau website. I just redid this a couple months ago, and I have a little capture bar there, and you can see how fantastic it is for the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau online. Insane bonus number 2. You will get, in just 8 weeks, a certified convention speaker designation. You'll get this little medallion next to your profile on the website. You can put it on your website. You can put it on your press kit, your digital press kit, your DPK, as we call it in the business. And you can put a CCS after your name. And this is just priceless. I really think, for the same reason you're working to get your CSP, Lisa, I really think that if a meeting planner is choosing between you and another speaker, and you have an accreditation after your name, a designation, I think that will weight their decision, and they will choose you for the paid gig. I think it absolutely won't hurt you, and it will probably help you in ways you can't even imagine to have a CCS after your name. And there is a glimpse of the Certified Convention Speakers page on the Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau website. You can see Brian Tracy is a certified convention speaker. So you can check that out right under the second menu button there. It says book a speaker, and there's a drop down menu, and it says certified convention speakers. Plus I have some certified convention speakers peppered throughout the website. So it really is a thing. It's helping me to market the Bureau by offering an exclusive benefit. And it's also helping you to market yourself, especially in such a crowded field. So this is just an absolutely tremendous value and tremendous bonus. If somebody wants a certified, and I hear from meeting planners all the time, they booked a speaker who had a jazzy website, and then this speaker showed up and did not deliver. So they're looking for ways to hedge their bets when they're booking a speaker. So having that CCS after your name is really going to help you get booked for more paid gigs. Insane bonus number 3, I'm going to share my mind-blowing information from my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp, including the science and psychology. So you can see how easy it is to earn $5,000, $10,000 or more in one day as a speaker. You know, I had the late John Austin. I booked him for a $10,000 speaking gig. The Bureau takes 25%, so he was making $7,500. Do you know that I helped him sell products in the back of the room? And he sold another $2,500. So he got his full fee, his whole $10,000 by selling more products, using science and psychology to present those products. I was selling the Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp. I had it in my home, actually, here in Las Vegas. It was a 2-day, all-day program for $24.97. So this is just a tremendous value. I've condensed it down to one of the modules and really getting the meat off the bone on that one. And then insane bonus number 4, Insider Secrets to Publishing. With support from literary agent and publisher Deb Herman, I will personally help you achieve publishing success. This is, I've written books, I self-published, I sold to a publisher, I've published anthologies. I know a lot about the publishing industry, and I'll be there to help you. Another priceless bonus. So you want to know what people are saying who have taken the course already? And, it's important to have the right testimonials as I talk about this. And I am working on getting video testimonials from some of my people who have graduated. I just launched the course this year, so working on it. It's an 8-week course, so we're right about there. I should have a few soon. But in the meantime, here are some written testimonials. Success coach Charles Leon said, "You're an absolute genius. I'm infatuated with these modules. Thank you so much. It's truly amazing, magnificent." Sarah Rainey is one of those people who spent tens of thousands of dollars on other training and was so frustrated. And she keeps saying, "You're the real deal, Robin. You're the real deal." She said, "I now feel I have a roadmap to follow to achieve success as a paid speaker. Each module has a wealth of cutting edge information that I know I can use. I finally know what I'm doing." And then Billy Arcement, who has a master's in education, and he's been speaking for a long time. He said, "I've made every mistake you shared. You gave truth and accurate information about the speaking industry. Your strategies for creating a successful speaking career provide a great template for anyone who wants to excel in a tough business." So there you have it, from newbies starting out like Charles, and then people who've been at it, investing money for years, trying to figure it out, to people who have been making these mistakes for quite some time, understanding. And I offer an unconditional money back guarantee. I hire speakers. Meeting planners count on me. Insider Secrets game-changing modules include everything you need to become a paid speaker and gain financial freedom from speaking, including how to develop your unique message and brand. Remember, I have 20 years in advertising. It really comes in handy when I help you with this. What you need in a speaker demo video to get booked. The 6 elements you have to have on your speaking website, how to determine your speaking fee and when to raise it, plus how to earn thousands every time you speak. And I offer a 14-day unconditional money-back guarantee. I'm that sure you'll love it. I'm throwing in today an extra special webinar bonus. If you click the Buy Now button, which I'll put up in the chat bar in just a few minutes, you'll get a bonus 3-month group coaching call, which is valued at $197 a month. You'll get one a month for 3 months, so a $591 additional value. So here's a summary of what you'll get. When I first launched Insider Secrets, I was offering it at $34.97. So, and I have customers who paid that, but I really want to make it accessible to more people, especially while we're starting out. And it's kind of introductory now. That's not what you're going to pay today. You'll get a listing on the lvcsb.com website. You'll get all of my valuable information about using science and psychology in my Millionaire Speaker Bootcamp, which I was selling for $24.97. You'll get a private one-on-one recorded strategy session with me worth $500. The webinar group coaching bonus worth $591. Priceless value of Insider Secrets Keys to Publishing. Access to special guest experts. And you'll become a certified convention speaker, which could really mean a lot to your bottom line. And it's exclusive only for Las Vegas Convention Speakers Bureau speakers. All in all, it's worth more than $8,585 plus the priceless bonuses. And like I said, I used to sell it for $34.97, but that's not what it's going to be today, okay? I was offering it an introductory price of $24.97, but don't even think about that. Today, I have a webinar price of just $19.97 for the next 24 hours, or 4 easy payment plans, just 4 payments of $577 each. So it's really easy. And I'm telling you, you can make that back the very first time you speak. And there's the Buy Now button in the chat bar. So if you click that, let me tell you what will happen. If you click this, in just 8 exciting weeks, you'll know how to get paid to speak. You'll get listed on the Bureau. You'll get your certified convention speaker designation. And you get me. I'm accessible. It's robin@lvcsb.com. I've had that up in the chat bar through the whole course. You know, when you take someone else's program, you don't get their email. You might get to work with one of their team. And as I get busier, I will have some speaking professionals helping me with this. But for right now, because it's new, you get me one-on-one. I answer your emails. People can't believe that I get back to them. And I do, usually within 24 hours. Because there's so much me time, space is limited, and I'd love it if you get started today. This is what will happen. If you click the Buy Now button, it'll take you to this page, and you can see the regular price of $24.97 has a line through it. It's available for just $19.97 or 4 payments of $577 each. This is the sales page on Wisdom Robot. You fill that out and you fill out your name, your email, and so on, your credit card information. You'll get a confirmation of your order, and then you'll get an email with your content right away. You can start immediately. You'll get your new content. You'll get your existing content. Once you've been in it for a few weeks, you can go back and access this information at your convenience. In fact, one of the gentlemen who bought it, a speaker who bought it a few weeks ago, still hasn't gotten to it yet. He's in real estate and he was closing a deal. And if you've ever bought a house, you know how that goes. He said, my time management is out the window, but he's getting back to it now. So it's there for you when you're ready for it. That content is parked there for you. Jeff Walker, who wrote Launch, says, no matter what you want to learn, someone has spent a life studying it. Learn from them. You don't have to make all these mistakes yourself. Let me help you. Learn from me. Like I said, I think I've made them all already. Lisa said this earlier, that you can try and figure it all out on your own. It took me years and tens of thousands of dollars and running a speakers bureau to figure it all out. I was speaking, I think that was the Healthcare Compliance Association at Mandalay Bay trying to think of what I got paid for that. I think it was little, like a $3,500 gig. Why put yourself through all of that when you could be well on your way in just 8 weeks? I have bonuses that are designed to help you with a complete, comprehensive speaker strategy. I have a limited, highly discounted price to make it really easy for you to make your decision, and an unconditional money back guarantee so you can sign up with confidence. You really have nothing to lose to do this. I hope you'll let me help you. As soon as you sign up, you'll get your first lesson. The special offer is only available for the next 24 hours. You can see the countdown clock up there. You can claim a better future for yourself today. I want to thank you for joining us. I have a little nugget from Napoleon Hill coming up right here. Those of you who may not know, Napoleon Hill was hired by Andrew Carnegie a long, long time ago to interview the top icons of industry to see if they shared any characteristics. And Napoleon Hill found 16 characteristics that they all had in common. And the best part is they were learned. They had nothing to do with how you were born or where you grew up or if you had a single parent household or anything. Now, I don't have time to go through all of them with you, but I have the top 5 here to help you understand the characteristics of a successful person. First and foremost is a burning desire. You have to really want to succeed at this, which I think because you're here and you've stayed with us through the whole webinar, that's you, right? You have to have specialized knowledge. We talked a lot about that, Lisa, about your specialized knowledge with manufacturing and with human resources and with gratitude and employee engagement. That is what's helping you to become successful as a speaker every day. Third is discipline. I wrote my first book when my friends were out at the pool or shopping or getting their hair done. I was at my desk every Sunday while I was in advertising, working 50 to 60 hours a week. So it does take some degree of discipline. It takes strong associations like the Speakers Bureau, like collaborating with me and Lisa, understanding that you have to be with people who can help you get where you want to go. And then decisiveness. You have to know how to pull the trigger, how to make a decision. And here's a little tip. If you ever have trouble making a decision, ask yourself, will this decision move me closer to my dreams? And is this decision in harmony with what I am doing? And if you have yes and yes, you have your answer right there. So I hope you will give me a chance to help you. I'm going to go live now. Lisa, if you want to click your camera too, let me get out of here so we can be big. Hi, Lisa, do you have any questions first? And you look beautiful. I can't believe you've got makeup on. You look wonderful. Do you have any questions or comments about the course?
After having gone through the course, there was a lot of the things that over the years of me knowing you, I've learned a lot from you to begin with. But I think that going through the course again and being able to go through it as many times as I want has been really helpful, and good reminders of some of the things that I knew but then kind of forgot about. And it was just a really great refresher. And I wish that I had this information when I was first starting, because it probably would have saved me a lot of money.
A lot of money and a lot of time too. It really is a quick start 8-week program. And you know, I hear it's so funny. One girl signed up last week, and yesterday she got her second module, and she emailed me. She said, "Oh my God, I am loving this course." And she wrote LOOOOOVING. I'm loving the modules. This is fantastic. It took me almost a year to build the course because I really wanted to deliver for the speakers. And I think my passion is fueled by the amount I struggled when I started, because none of this information was out there. There were a million coaches and consultants and speaker coaches who were very happy to take my money, but very few. I got the wrong advice from the wrong people, and I struggled. And I think that's what motivates me to really want to help the speakers. And like I said, running the Bureau, I really hear from speakers who are struggling. And I think that's it. I think we're done. If you have any questions, you can email me or Lisa. My email is at the top of the chat bar. If you're watching this on replay, you don't have that, but it's robin@lvcsb.com, which I'll put on here, and I'll put your email right above it. So I'll have this, and you'll see it after I edit this, it'll take me about 2 hours because it uploads and buffers and YouTube and all that. So I will send you the link and you can share it with the rest of your people. Lisa, thank you so much for taking this time to share this information with your followers, with your fans and friends. And I look forward to working with you.
Thanks, Robin.